Hi there, my name's Tracy, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I recovered and healed my irritable bowel syndrome, my eczema, my Candida overgrowth, and my leaky gut syndrome permanently. And I recovered from all of this about a year ago, and then it took me about another year to summon up the confidence to share this with the rest of the population that's also suffering with IBS, eczema, Candida overgrowth, and leaky gut. So they're all related, and the root physical cause is Candida overgrowth. It is an imbalance of the bacteria in your stomach kind of causing all these problems, but there is an even deeper root cause, and that is the emotional trauma that is stored in the body. So irritable bowel syndrome is defined as a psychosomatic disorder, and most people would equate that to, oh, it's all in your head. But in truth, this psychosomatic means that it's the psych in the soma, which means that it's the brain in the stomach, the brain in the heart. There is memories in a brain all on its own in the body. There's this one, but then I believe that every single cell that we have, it almost magically has this operating process on its own. And I deeply believe that there is a soul in every cell of the body. There is an eternal life energy that we can connect with inside of ourselves. So how I deeply healed all these things is basically healing all of my emotional trauma that I wasn't even aware of at the time. So I was really busy with my life before, and my professional background is in nursing, and then I went into mental health in graduate school, like a mental health focus, and then I was so interested, and I think that I was just interested in, healing myself, and I didn't really know. So I went into mindfulness and Gestalt, got trained in those, and then I explored various therapeutic, holistic healing arts. And basically what I've come to really understand throughout this healing journey of mine, this recovering spiritual journey of mine, is that it all comes down to healing your emotions. When you heal your emotions or your feelings in your body, the trauma in your body, like all your chronic illnesses and your autoimmune disorders fade away. I guess the way that I would like to explain it is, I'm going to try to be as practical as possible. So basically, how do you heal the emotions in the body? So a lot of us with IBS and all of these disorders, we've become dissociated, that's a term in psychology, and disconnected from our bodies, and we don't know how to process and regulate and release pain and just unpleasant emotion, because these emotions have been frowned upon in how we were taught in our early childhood or in society and culture. We're not exactly a culture that praises having anger or praises having any of these other negative but very normal human spectrum of emotion. So when I started going into this work, I started understanding that all my feelings are okay, and if you're not okay with it, that's okay too, and really coming down to resolving and processing this. And although that sounds very intuitive, when you don't know, it's not that easy. And the hardest part about deeply healing these things permanently is being brave enough to go into the body and kind of see parts of yourself that you don't really like to see. So in healing all these issues, I have also recovered from healing from like codependency and food addiction, had some sort of like love addiction, addictive tendencies. And there's a lot of new literature right now showing that depression is highly linked to stomach disorders. And some research that I did in grad school was mental health or depression, and which correlated highly with chronic illnesses and different kind of comorbidities. So that's that. It's not rocket science. Everyone's making it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. It's basically healing the trauma, and a lot of us are traumatized by just harmful experiences in life, and I think some of us are just more sensitive to the experiences that happen to us emotionally, and we have become easily manipulated into believing that everything outside of ourselves is the power to heal us. And and that's the problem with a lot of people who have chronic illness or autoimmune disorder. We think that it's the drugs that heal you, or not heal you but fix you, and we think it's the food that is the holy grail, and we think the solution somewhere is out there, but it's not. It's within you. It's always been within you. It's just we don't even know how to build a relationship with ourselves or our feelings. So I made a very simple course to show other people how to do this, how to reconnect with their body and process their feelings and release and express these unpleasant emotions and these traumas that are lodged in the body. So that's on my website, which is in the link below. So yeah, it's not like a huge, I want to dispel this whole thing that gluten is the culprit. It's not. And that all of these things out there, I mean, they don't help. It doesn't help to eat so much sugar. That's common sense. And to really go back to the basics is that it's just about going back to eating normal, natural, healthy food. And if you eat some things here and there, it's not going to kill you. But when we have these kind of extreme codependent relationships, it shows up in our food as well, where we're very attached to our food and attached to a certain way of eating and being afraid and victimizing ourselves by blaming something heavily on something such as gluten. Gluten's not an issue. Gluten may not be helpful for a certain period of time when you are in the healing process, because that's what you and your body believes it to be, like your relationship with gluten as such. But I mean, I had a gluten allergy before and I don't have it anymore because I've healed my relationship with food. And that's it. I've healed my relationships with whatever I need to heal with, whether it's intimate relationships, food, or whatever it is around me. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. If it's helpful, please like and subscribe, and perhaps share my video, because I know that there's a lot of people who are really confused and very much struggling with these things like IBS and eczema and Candida and leaky gut. And I feel I guess grateful to have come to see the simple truth, and I hope that you see it within yourself too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.